everybody, it's your old pal Rob. Today we are going to be looking at my version of the top 10 most underrated games of all time, in my mind at least. Okay, some of these I actually got from you guys because we did a poll on the channel, and which has been fun. I really like doing the polls, and we talked about some of the games that we really considered that were underrated, and people brought up the games to me that I really I went, oh man, I forgot about that one. I guess that really makes it underrated. But one of the things I wanted to do was just go over the 10 that I think in my mind is underrated, and of course you could always put them in the comments below. So without further ado, let us begin with my top 10 list of most underrated games. And number 10 is a game that doesn't get the love it should get, and I say this because Battletech is such a huge game. Some people actually said Battletech was an underrated game. I think it has such a big following, and it's still alive today and does very well. This game's alive as well, but I don't think enough people know about it, and it's Heavy Gear. It is a great solid mech game. I love the mechs. I love the vehicles and everything with it. It's easy to play. It does not use any hexes or anything like that. It is just an open a tabletop mech game that is just really good. It is not as deep as Battletech, and I think that's what hurts it with some people that are big mech fans, because usually if you're a Battletech fan, you are into big, you know, the old school version of it. But, you know, also with Alpha there, that kind of brings it into the Heavy Gear world, which makes it really cool. But it's a game that you should definitely check out, and you could still purchase and find. I forgot who makes it. Shows you how underrated it is. You definitely just put in Heavy Gear tabletop game, and you will get tons of information. I guarantee for sure. At number 9 is a game that I have screamed about here for a long time, and I don't think it gets the love it deserves as much as 4 Against Darkness. 4 Against Darkness is glorious, but D100 Dungeon is right there, and I don't think enough people talk about this. There is a certain group that really follow this, and I think it fit in mainstream real well. I think people that love Dungeons and Dragons that have not taken a look at this and don't have groups and stuff like that should really take a look at this. And D100 is a great underrated game. It's popular, but it's not as popular as I think it should be. This should be a lot bigger than what it is. It's a great experience. The books that have come out with it, and Martin Knight is a genius, plain and simple, glorious, and it is an all-time great in my mind. D100 Dungeon. At number 8, I gotta make sure I follow this really close and don't mess it up like I normally do with like I did with the top 9 deck builders of all time, right? Should have been 10. At number 8 is Old School Tactical. Now, the reason I feel this is underrated, I think this is one of those games that just bridges a lot of gaps and covers a lot of territory, is a lot of fun. Some people don't, you know, hem and haw about it because of the simplicity of it, but I think that's one of the things that really works for it. It is a game that you get out there, you play, it is fantastic, it is glorious. And a lot of fun for a war game, and it's easy to play. That means if you have kids or people that don't normally play war games, they can really enjoy this game. It is a lot of fun. How you get your points to move things, it's very strategic, smart, fun, great. Hats off to Flying Pig Games and Old School Tactical. Go check it out. If you are a war gamer and haven't heard about this, check it out. Check it out. You won't be disappointed. At number 7 Let's make sure that we got this. 10, 9, 8, 7. At number 7. See, I'm trying to make sure that we stay on target here. Defenders of the Last Stand. Now, Richard Launius has always been a genius in my mind, and Defenders of the Realm is one of my favorite games of all time. I love it. I love the expansions, and I heard rumors that they might be redoing it, which would be glorious. But Defenders of the Last Stand is an a future apocalypse version of this, and it's just fun. I painted a lot of these. Boy, I wish the paint wasn't sticky from that summer, but this game is just absolutely great. It falls in the same vein as Defenders of the Realm. It is fun. It adds a bunch of twists to it. Some things that are added in that are really great. And it's just a great, great game that came out, did all right, and then just people kind of forgot about it. I think this game is great, and I really think you should check it out. Defenders of the Last Stand. At number 6. Zombicide usually takes over the airwaves when you think about zombie games. But a game that I really find is really, really good, and there's 2 versions of it that really is underrated in my mind, is Resident Evil number 2 and number 3. Both are very good, quality miniatures, great gameplay, a lot of fun, feels and has that real deep feel of the video game. It is just absolutely fantastic and glorious. It is a great, great, great game, and definitely something you should have in your arsenal. At number 5 is another game that when it came out, it did pretty well, but then just kind of, doesn't get considered a classic, and I think it's really underrated, and that is from Everything Epic Games, Secret of the Lost Tomb. Okay, Secret of the Lost Tomb is a lot of fun. There's a lot of replayability to it. It is a kind of Indiana Jones type of game, how your character develops and how things go in it is really a lot of fun. Trying to get down to these villains that are just absolutely brutal and pound you into meat is fantastic. The game never plays the same. It's a lot of fun, and it's a game that plays great solo, or it plays great with more than a couple people, and it's a very smooth playing game, and I enjoy it very much. I think, matter of fact, Daniel from the Dungeon Dive considers it one of his favorite dungeon crawls of all time. So there you go, Secret of the Lost Tomb. If Daniel likes it, that means you need to check it out. And number 4 is a game that got blowed up by the Dice Tower, but as people played it, they really enjoyed it. Different taste for everybody. I'm not saying anything bad there. It's okay. Tom didn't like it, but I really love this game, and I feel it is an underrated game, and that is Escape the Dark Castle. Now, this is a game that is very dice driven, and you are trying to meet certain criterias as you turn over each card, and there are a certain amount of cards to get to the main boss. But can you get enough items? Can you get enough dice? Can you get enough things to defeat the boss, but not get killed before you get there? And boy, is it hard. And what's great about it, it has this it's black and white, old school feel, very simple mechanics, but just very, very dark and very 1970s feel to it. And you feel like you're playing an old school RPG, trying to get down with your character and escape the dark castle. You were imprisoned, you're trying to get out. Can you get out? Can you get by the main boss? Well, it's not as easy as you think. Escape the Dark Castle at number 4. At number 3 is a game that is popular, but I think it should be a lot more popular, a ton more popular, and that is Hexplore It. Okay, there are a number of different versions, and there's another one coming out. It does well, but this is a game that I really feel that should be in anybody's top 50, top 100 games of all time. Hexplore it's just a great adventure where you are going through and all kinds of different things are happening. You're trying to power up your character to take on the deep dark villain. Can you get there? Can you do it? Can you power up? And there are more things and quests and things that get in your way. It is a beautiful board, a beautiful game, and I love the dry eraser marker part of it because your stats are constantly changing. And you are constantly trying to grow this character into a powerhouse, and just fun, and a lot of adventure along the way as you are trying to buy, sell, capture, defeat, and level up, and defeat the overwhelming villain that is punishing the land. At number 2 is a game that I think gets hurt by the fact that there are so many versions of it, and that's Battlelore. Battlelore, the original one, was very popular, and then when the second one came out, it never achieved cult status as I think it should have, the way that Command and Colors, Ancients, or Napoleonics, or any other version of that kind of battle system did. And the second version, which was beautiful, great miniatures, beautiful board, beautiful cards, just kind of faded into existence. But it was actually very, very well done. And I can't understand why it faded the way it did, because I would expected a whole bunch of expansions with this fantastic game, and it just died out. And it's a shame, because it really is a great two-player, fun, easy to learn experience where you are taking your armies and trying to conquer and overcome your opponent. And in the tradition of Command and Color system, it's just very, very, very good. And I don't know why it isn't held in higher regard. My number 1 all time, though, is a game that I actually forgot about, and then somebody wrote about it, and then I went back to the storage unit, pulled it out, played it again, and that's Galaxy Defender. This game should be a lot bigger than what it is. This game is just smart, easy to play, easy setup, easy takedown, beautiful, good miniatures, solid. You are trying to overcome certain things, and aliens are just spawning all over the place. You're trying to reach certain objectives, but it's just a constant spawning and wondering where things are. You're going to get overrun or annihilated and wiped out. And there's been a couple of versions of it, but it kind of gotten forgotten again. And this is a great, great, great game. It's really fantastic, and I don't think enough people play it and sing the praises of this fantastic game. Galaxy Defender is my number 1 underrated game of all time, because I really enjoy it. It's a game I go back to a lot and play, but I forget about it quite a bit too. And you don't hear people talking about it, and they should. It's always cult of the new, or this, that, and the other, and we're forgetting these fantastic classics, and we need to go back to these great, fantastic games. And because there's plenty of playability, just in this list alone, this would take up somebody's year. So if you don't have these games, check them out. You might find something, a diamond in the rough, that you didn't know about. And for me, that's what these are. Diamonds in the rough that need to be shined up again and brought onto your table. So I hope you enjoyed this list, and until next time, boom, it's your old pal Rob. We'll see you soon, everyone.